Hello and welcome. I am Sarah. You can also call me Pixie. I like reading fantasy books. If you do too, maybe think about subscribing. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my reading goals for 2023. My first goal is a total reading for the year kind of goal. I would like to, fingers crossed, read 65 books this year. This is still under the most books that I've read in a year, but this is going to be iffy and a big push. And I would like to read more. I just don't see that being very likely for 2023, the way work and home life and things are going. No, the 65 is going to be a push. I will be pleasantly surprised if I end up reading more than 65. I read maybe half of that number in 2022, so, at least as far as I tracked. I was very bad at tracking books in 2022, which we'll somewhat get into. I would like to be better at tracking, but we'll get there. So I have made myself a goal of 65. In updating my tracking spreadsheet that I made somewhere in 2021, early 2022, and updating it for 2023, I have realized I have 224 books that I haven't read yet. I guess that's the bad thing with ebooks, is you don't need a lot of space for them, but out of sight, out of mind, you forget that you have all of those books and you're just kind of going through. You get gift cards for Barnes and Noble and stuff, and you go on a spending spree, and the ebooks don't cost as much as a paperback or a hardback, so yeah. So I have a problem. Speaking of that problem, which kind of brings us into the next goal, which isn't really a goal, it's more of a challenge, and that is going to be a book buying ban. This is not going to be a straight up book buying ban. That will be near impossible for me. Not even near impossible, that will be impossible. So what I have decided to do is, for every 3 books I read, and these will have to be books that I own, so if I borrow from Scribd or my library, that doesn't count. These have to be books that I own and that I have not read before, which is also going to be fun because I have a few rereads planned. I've started putting some recaps for series on my blog. You can check it out in a link down below. So I have to read 3 books that I own that I haven't read before I can get even 1 book. Now I'm also not including, I have I think 2 books on pre-order from last year, so these are not going to be counted as books that I'm getting in, I don't think, because that will already start me at a -6, and we want to keep this on a positive and encourage the reading of my own books. So we'll just count them, we'll maybe add them to the 224 total and say I have 226 books that I own that I haven't read. I don't have in my hot little hands 2 of these books yet. So that's I guess how we'll look at things. How successful do I think this book buying ban will be? I think it will be more successful than my last book buying ban. My last one I tried to do for every 5 books, and I don't even think that I had the stipulation of I had to read the book for the first time kind of thing. I think it was just I had to read 5 books that I owned, or just read 5 books and then I could get one even. I don't remember. I just remember it was not very successful. I think I stuck to it for 2, maybe 3 months, but because I wasn't reading a whole lot, I wasn't really earning books, and so that just pushed me to borrow books more than buy. So I was, in that regard, I was successful in the book buying ban. And then really my last goal is to complete or basically catch up on more of the series that I've started, which will be another interesting one, because if I'm pushing myself to read more of the books that I own, I don't own very many completed or up-to-date series. So like, say a series has 7 books that will be in total, but only 5 have been released, and we know there's 2 more coming. I don't even have those 5. I own a lot of book 1s. So we're just kind of making this a very interesting year, I think. Trying to stick to the books I own, trying to complete more series, but I don't own completed series, so we'll just see how this goes. I don't know, maybe I'll modify some of these goals as we go through the year, but I definitely would like to catch up or complete more series, certainly more than I did last year. I think I only caught up on 2. That was another, like, bad. And that one I know I'm accurate on. I was pretty good at tracking the series when I was reading. But I'm actually starting another series right now. I don't know if I'll continue. It's a YA. I'm finding my reading interest is more leaning towards the adult books than the YA books. But there are still YA books that I enjoy, and I'm enjoying this one, so we'll have to see. So those are the reading goals that I will be focusing on in 2023. We're gonna keep it more or less simple, kind of simple, especially since 2022 did not go very well, and I'm hoping to do a bit more in 2023. I'm taking on more things. So definitely want to make these goals somewhat achievable, while also kind of stretching myself. So hopefully we'll achieve these by the end of 2023. I'm wondering how you did in 2022. Did you have a good reading year? Or did you feel like you had a bad reading year? How is it? Was it? Do you have any reading plans for 2023? Are there any books that you're looking forward to? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you next time in a new video. TTFN!